Looking for Madden 22 Ultimate Team coins? AOEAH.com is the cheapest and most reliable coins on the marketplace. Click the link in the description and use coupon code SPORTS for 3% off your order.
YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Duke back here from Sportsgamerz.com, and in today's Madden 22 tip video, I'm going to break down one of the absolute best routes in the entire game. This route is money, beats Manor Zone, and I'm going to show it to you guys from one of my favorite plays in the game, which is actually a very common play you can find in a lot of playbooks. But this is a route that you can incorporate into your offense, and you're going to want to use this no matter what system you play on, current or next gen. It's very, very effective and easy to use. So in this video, I decided to grab the Raiders playbook on offense. The Raiders have one of the best playbooks in the game, but like I said, it's in tons of different playbooks, this route, and even formations. But I like to use this a lot from the gun, tray, formation. Now, when people think of the tray, they think crossing routes, deep post for one-play touchdowns. But there's actually a lot more to this formation. Now, I will say for this play, make sure you put one of your best receivers, like I would say your best route runner, your best receiver to get separation, as the inside receiver. You might consider actually a deep out elite at this spot if you use receiver abilities, but you don't have to do that. So the play I want to look at is double and sail, and most people just run this as an extremely basic play, and they don't even really utilize what I'm about to show you guys. Like, this is one of the best plays in the whole game that everybody sleeps on, and we're going to get into how to run this play against every defense in the game. We're going to start with cover 2. Now, before we get into the setup, I just want to remind you guys, I do daily Madden 22 tip videos. I do some gameplays and news as well, so if you enjoy my content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash that like button. If you really rock with me, comment on the video, turn your notifications on. All that stuff does help me out a lot as a content creator. Continue to be able to do more of these types of videos for you guys, and the more, support I get, the more I'm able to do. So with that said, the setup here is really just going to be 2 hot routes. So it's really, really simple, really easy to do. But you always want to make sure that you put your 3 receiver side of the formation, which is the trip side, on the wide side of the field. So here you see we're closer to the right sideline. That means we want our trips on the left because the right side is the short side, therefore the left is the wide side. Now, this inside receiver where you see Hopkins, that's what I'm saying. That's where ideally you want your best route runner. So what I like to do here, and this setup will work against any defense there is I'm going to put my slot receiver on a streak, and I'm going to put my outside receiver on a smoke screen. I mean, you could put him on an out route, a whip even, just any sort of route that's going to occupy just a quick flat area. I'm just going to do a smoke screen for this example. So when I run this play, primarily I'm keen on Hopkins because this route is going to get open against pretty much everything in the game. As you guys can see here, it's going to be able to get behind those cloud flats.
If you're enjoying my YouTube content, I highly recommend you check out Sportsgamerz.com. This is where I post all my premium Madden 22 content. I have eBooks, offensive and defensive schemes, plus I do 4 to 6 premium tips every week in the Madden Vault. This content is available for both current and next gen, so no matter what system you play on, we got you guys covered. Our best offer yet is the Sportsgamerz Madden VIP membership. This gives you access to the entire site, every tip, every ebook, plus the meta reports for only $19.99. I'll post a link to it in the description and the comments. Make sure to check it out for the best tips and content available at the best price anywhere.
And it's going to be wide open on the sideline. So if you take a look here, we're able to, throw this behind the cloud flat for a big gain. The streak is going to take the safety, but also we do that streak in case they're in cover 3 as a pull route to take away the deep zone on the sideline, which I'll show you in a second here. But especially if you do have escape artists and you can get out of the pocket, even if they set zone drops, if you just scramble outside of the pocket, this route's going to be open every time behind the zone drop. So this is not, something that you can just say, oh, I'm going to zone drop to 30 and I'm going to be good, right? Because we can still scramble outside the pocket, and I'll actually do that here, put my zone drops to 30. And, it's going to still be open. But the really nice thing about this is, like, at the end of the day, if I notice, like, it's pretty obvious. If I notice your zone drops are set to Narnia, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw one of my flats, and, they're going to pick up big yardage. So, at the end of the day, you can't really use that strategy because I could just roll out and throw the corner out. Or if I see you're doing that, I could just throw the either flat, and, it's going to pick me up big yardage. So, at that point, really, what you're having to do is you're having to drop back and play a double Mabel, which is really not going to be a good strategy to utilize. So I'm going to go ahead and put my zone drop back on default and move on to some other defenses to show you guys how it might work against that. So let's look at cover 3 next. Again, Hopkins route is really the key here, but I mean, there are other good routes on this play. Like the tight end route is really nice as well as the running back, but really I look flats and corners. The streak is really just a pull route. It's not really something I look to hit a lot. But you guys will notice, I mean, even the tight end, like, that's a really effective corner route too. You don't really need a pull route over there because it's run from the tight end. It's a little bit different. But if I do notice the flats are taken away, then I'll look to the tight end. Again, this is a pretty simple read on both sides of the field. I basically am looking at the flats first, and if they're not open, I'm going to the corner route. And I have 2 of them, and I have 2 flats on each side of the field. So it's kind of a dual read. And when you add an escape artist, it gets really, 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 really difficult. So if you stick with the same defense I was just in, this time we're just going to leave the curl flats out there. As you guys can see here, this is cover 3. I do want to show you guys that the corner route on the left side of the screen is going to be wide open, as you guys can see here on the sideline. Again, what ends up happening is, I mean, the Hopkins corner route, it's going to run behind the zones. And the deep zone, again, it's getting pulled back by the streak. So the sideline is wide open. Even though we get a pretty good pass rush there, still easily able to hit this on the sideline. So this is a very, very, very effective play because you can't really, you can't really just say, hey, I'm taking away the flats and, the corner routes are both, we have 2 corner routes, and hey, you can't say I'm taking away the corner routes because then, we have 2 flats. So if I was to notice this type of adjustment, which would not be smart to do, maybe you're going to use the middle right here. All I'd have to do is either A, run a play like verticals where I'm attacking the seam, which is not, it's, I don't have that in my audibles. PA post shot where I got crossers and posts. Or I could just use the very simple route combo a lot of people use, which is just this right here, which is to have the in route, the streak, and the flat. Because at that point, you have to guard the seam, and as soon as you guard the seam, I'm just throwing the underneath route right behind you. So playing double Mabel against trips is not really ideal just because it's so easy to beat just with a seam, a flat, and a streak. I'm sorry, a seam, streak, a flat, and an in route. You can't take all that away. And you could just easily do that from this play right here. So it's like you still do have the corner and the flat on the right side of the field. But then, on the left side, we're more so attacking the seam. And you want to say, well, what if they just stay underneath and they see that in route coming? Okay, well, I mean, I'm just throwing the seam, and that's going to be a big play. So once again, can't really play that style of defense. Now, the really good thing about this corner route is it whoops man-to-man like really easily. A lot of corner routes that beat zone really effectively, like get behind zone drops and all that, I just feel like they don't really work that good against man. They just don't cut at the right time to beat man coverage. This corner route is an exception to that. As you guys are going to see here, he beats man coverage easily. He absolutely torches it. And that's man coverage with a safety over the top. We pressed everything. So if we're beating that type of man coverage, you can only imagine if maybe they don't have a safety over the top, they're cover 0 blitz, that could be a touchdown. Or, if they don't press you, we're just flying off the line and we're getting wide open. So man coverage is not really a good move against this either. Now, the other thing a lot of people are going to ask about, well, how about match coverage? Match coverage tends to be pretty effective against these type of route combos, right? Or you have corners and you have flats, right? Like that's something a lot of people will go to, especially against bunch receiver sets, although this is trips. But generally people feel like match coverage against these types of route combos works well. Well, if you guys see here, it's not going to be the case because it just completely destroys match. As you guys can see here, the corner route gets wide open. Now, obviously, there are adjustments you can make, advanced coverage adjustments to match coverage to defend this a little bit better. As you guys can see here, the safeties get so confused. At the end of the day, it's just, again, blatantly wide open. It's an easy dot. Now, again, there are adjustments you can make to match, but at the same time, there are adjustments we can make to our offensive play if you are going to try to get pretty adjusty at a match. Like I said, I really just wanted to focus on how effective this corner route is in this video. It's a great route. Hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, it's Duke, and I'm out.